Well, howdy friends. I find projects that use materials from the scrap bin especially satisfying. And that's the case today as I make a copper ash pan for my brother's wood-fired cedar hot tub. You see, my brother lives in the woods and he has a wood-fired hot tub. On a recent visit, I noticed that the firebox was just a smoldering mess. And because a ladies group is having a woodland retreat on his property, I thought it would be nice to make sure that the hot tub was running smoothly. The scrap material that I'm talking about is this heavy walled copper tubing. I first cut it open with an angle grinder. Next, I toss it in this small portable campfire, annealing it so it's pliable enough to unfold. As I pry it open, it has the consistency of a very stiff taffy. Now it's a usable piece of raw material that I can lay out my design on. I sketched out my design on paper and transferred it to the flat sheet. You're going to see the evolution of a few different designs. This first one assumed I'd be going into the firebox through the air inlet, a much narrower opening. I cut things out on the bandsaw, refine the edges with a file, smooth out the edges even further with the belt sander. I'll bend over the edges on the vise and round over the interface to the handle with an improvised rounding tool. The flattening of this copper bar stock was a tremendous undertaking. I eventually got it shaped out so that I could join it to version 3.0 of my scoop. I drilled holes for attaching the handle interface with some copper rivets. And I'll secure the rivets on my stump anvil, tapping them home with a ball peen hammer. To get the scoop to stand upright on its own, I had to adjust the center of gravity. I need an S-curve in the handle to get the scoop to stand upright. I'll clean up the rough edges with a file. You can see that this is a different design from where we started out. It's got more of a square shape, but it allows it to scoop into the corners of the firebox. I'm using a piece of dry chestnut as the handle. I'll brush off the excess char and then oil it with boiled linseed oil. I'll add epoxy to that deep wedge-shaped hole and then drive home the copper shaft. Here it is, standing up straight. I tried it out at my brother's place and it worked perfectly. I'm hoping the event at his place went smoothly. I can only imagine how it went. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the build, and we'll see you on the next one.